Maybe it was meeting someone, making a decision, or hearing a piece of advice that ignited a fire within you. What if I told you that today could be that moment for you? Yes, you. Because the truth is, you're not here by accident. You're here because deep down, you know there's something more, a greater version of yourself waiting to break free. And today, I'm here to show you how. Introduction: Why life lessons matter. Life is a journey, but let me tell you something most people forget. It's not just about the destination. It's about how you show up every single day. It's about the decisions you make, the mindset you cultivate, and the actions you take. I've spent decades traveling the world, meeting people from every walk of life, CEOs, athletes, parents, students, you name it. And here's what I've learned: success leaves clues. No matter where you are in life right now, these 5 lessons can unlock a new level of clarity, confidence, and power within you. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Chapter 1: The Power of Focus. Lesson 1: Where focus goes, energy flows. Imagine trying to hit a target you can't see. Impossible, right? Yet that's exactly how most people live their lives. They focus on what they fear, what they lack, or what's wrong in their world. It's like driving with your eyes on the rearview mirror. Here's the truth: your mind is like a magnifying glass. Whatever you focus on gets bigger. If you focus on problems, they'll consume you. But if you focus on solutions, your creativity ignites, and you start seeing possibilities you didn't even know existed. Let me tell you about a woman named Sarah. Sarah came to one of my seminars feeling stuck in her career. She told me, "Tony, I'm overwhelmed. I keep thinking about how much I hate my job, and it's all I can focus on." So I asked her, "What do you want instead?" She paused and said, "I want to feel passionate about what I do." That was her breakthrough moment. She realized she'd been putting all her energy into what she didn't want, instead of focusing on what she did want. Within 6 months of shifting her focus, Sarah started her own business. Today, she's thriving, not because the circumstances changed, but because her focus did. Your exercise: take out a piece of paper and write down the 3 things you've been focusing on the most. Are they empowering or disempowering? If they're holding you back, decide right now to shift your focus. Create a vision board, set goals, and remind yourself daily of what you want to achieve. When you focus on your dreams, the world has a way of aligning to make them happen. Chapter 2: Embrace change, don't fear it. Change is inevitable, but growth is optional. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that life doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. And yet, so many people resist change. Why? Because change is uncomfortable. It forces us out of our routines and into the unknown. But let me tell you something: the unknown is where all the magic happens. Think about the caterpillar. It doesn't resist becoming a butterfly. It doesn't cling to its old life, afraid of what's next. It embraces the transformation, and as a result, it soars. I once worked with a man named Robert who had spent 30 years in a corporate job he hated. When his company downsized, he felt like his life was over. But that challenge turned out to be his greatest gift. It forced him to start fresh, and for the first time, he pursued his passion for photography. Within a year, Robert was running his own business, traveling the world, and living a life he couldn't have imagined. Here's the key: change isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace. Every time life throws you a curveball, ask yourself, what's the lesson here? How can this make me stronger? Your exercise: identify one area of your life where you've been resisting change. Maybe it's a relationship, a career move, or a personal habit. Write down 3 actions you can take today to embrace that change. Remember, every step forward, even a small one, builds momentum. Chapter 3: Master your emotions. If there's one thing that separates winners from everyone else, it's emotional mastery. Let me ask you, who's running your life right now? Is it you or your emotions? Because here's the deal: if you don't master your emotions, they'll master you. Life throws challenges at all of us. But what determines whether you rise or fall isn't the challenge itself, it's how you respond to it. You can't control the events, but you can control what they mean and what you do about them. Think of someone like Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison, yet he emerged with a heart full of forgiveness, not bitterness. How? By mastering his emotions. He decided that his circumstances would not dictate his destiny. Here's a tool I use, the 90-second rule. When you're feeling overwhelmed, angry, or fearful, take 90 seconds to reset. Stand up, move your body, take deep breaths, and remind yourself of who you are and what you stand for. In less than 2 minutes, you can shift from a state of stress to a state of power. Your exercise: the next time you feel a negative emotion, pause. Don't react, breathe. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? What do I want to feel instead? Then, take one action to move toward that better state. Emotions are like muscles. The more you practice, the stronger you get. Chapter 4: The Power of Relationships. Who you surround yourself with shapes your destiny. Let me ask you something. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Do they inspire you, challenge you, and lift you higher? Or do they drain your energy and pull you down? Here's what I've learned: relationships are like gardens. They need nurturing, attention, and care. And sometimes, you need to pull out the weeds. I worked with a man named Chris who had big dreams but was stuck in a toxic friendship. His best friend constantly doubted him, criticized him, and dismissed his ideas. It wasn't easy, but Chris made the decision to distance himself from that negativity. The result? He found a mentor who believed in him, and within a year, he achieved more than he had in the previous 5 years combined. Your relationships are either fueling your growth or stunting it. Choose wisely. And remember, it's not just about what you can get, it's about what you can give. Be the kind of person others want to be around. Show up with kindness, integrity, and love. Your exercise: evaluate your inner circle. Who's helping you grow? Who's holding you back? Write down 3 people you want to spend more time with and 3 people you need to create boundaries with. Then take action. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to be your best self. Chapter 5: Take massive action. Knowledge is not power. Action is. Too many people get stuck in someday syndrome. Someday I'll start that business. Someday I'll get in shape. Someday I'll live my dream. Let me tell you something, someday is the road to nowhere. One of my favorite stories is about Bethany Hamilton, a surfer who lost her arm in a shark attack. Most people would have given up, but not Bethany. She didn't wait for the perfect moment to get back on the board, she took massive action. Today, she's one of the most inspiring athletes in the world, not because she had perfect circumstances, but because she refused to quit. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. It doesn't matter if your first step is small. What matters is that you take it. Your exercise: write down one goal you've been procrastinating on. Then, list the very first step you can take today, no matter how small. Now do it. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is now. Remember, every step forward brings you closer to your dreams. Chapter 6: The Power of Gratitude. Gratitude is the antidote to fear, scarcity, and negativity. When you focus on what you're grateful for, your entire perspective shifts. Think about it. Can you feel truly grateful and stressed at the same time? No. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. It opens the door for abundance and joy to flow into your life. I'll share a personal story. Years ago, I was broke, living in a tiny apartment and wondering how I was going to make ends meet. But one day, I made a decision. Instead of focusing on what I didn't have, I'd focus on what I did. I started a daily gratitude ritual, writing down 3 things I was thankful for every morning. At first, it felt small, simple things like having clean water or a roof over my head. But over time, something incredible happened. My mindset shifted, and opportunities started showing up in ways I couldn't explain. I once met a man named Jake who had lost his job, his house, and his health all in the span of a year. When he started practicing gratitude, his life transformed. He didn't wait for his circumstances to change. He changed first, and then the circumstances followed. Today, he's happier and more successful than ever. Your exercise, every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Go deeper than the surface, feel the gratitude in your heart. At night, reflect on the best moment of your day. Do this for 30 days, and watch how your perspective and your life transforms. Chapter 7, Commit to Growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. Growth isn't just about achieving, it's about becoming. It's about constantly evolving into the best version of yourself. The moment you stop growing, life loses its excitement. One of my mentors, Jim Rohn, used to say, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. At first, I didn't understand what he meant. But over time, I realized that the key to success isn't just external, it's internal. When you grow as a person, everything else in your life grows with you. Think of growth as a tree. The deeper the roots, the taller the tree can grow. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every challenge you overcome is another root in your foundation. I've worked with countless individuals who felt stuck, only to discover that their breakthrough came when they committed to personal growth. Your exercise, set aside 30 minutes a day for personal development. Read a book, listen to a podcast, or take a course. And don't just consume, apply what you learn. Growth isn't about information, it's about transformation. Ask yourself, how can I be 1% better today than I was yesterday? Small improvements over time lead to extraordinary results. Chapter 8, Contribution is the ultimate fulfillment. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. No matter how much money, fame, or power you achieve, it will feel empty if you're not contributing to something bigger than yourself. Contribution is what gives life meaning. I've seen this firsthand. I once worked with a multi-millionaire who had everything most people dream of: mansions, cars, and luxury vacations. But he came to me feeling empty. When we dug deeper, he realized that his life had been all about taking, not giving. So he made a shift. He started mentoring young entrepreneurs and giving back to his community. That's when he found true happiness. On the flip side, I've met people with very little who radiate joy because they're constantly giving. One of the most inspiring examples is a young boy named Alex I met at a charity event. At just 10 years old, he started a campaign to provide shoes for kids in need. His passion and generosity lit up the room. Contribution isn't about how much you give, it's about the spirit in which you give. Your exercise, identify one way you can contribute to others today. It could be as simple as a kind word, helping a friend, or volunteering your time. Make contribution a daily practice, and you'll discover a level of fulfillment that no material possession can provide. Chapter 9, Believe in Yourself. This might be the most important lesson of all. You've got to believe in yourself before anyone else will. Every great achievement starts with a belief, a conviction, that you can do it, even when the odds are against you. When I was younger, I didn't have much. I grew up in a small apartment, struggling to make ends meet. But I had a vision, and I believed in it with every fiber of my being. That belief carried me through the toughest times. One of my favorite stories is about Sylvester Stallone. Before he became famous, Stallone was rejected by over 1,500 casting agents. He was broke, living in a tiny apartment, and selling his dog just to buy food. But he believed in himself and his dream. He wrote the script for Rocky and refused to sell it unless he could star in it. Eventually, someone took a chance on him, and the rest is history. The difference between people who achieve their dreams and those who don't isn't talent or luck, it's belief. If you don't believe in yourself yet, borrow my belief in you. I know you're capable of greatness. Your exercise, write down 3 affirmations that reflect the person you want to become. Repeat them every day with conviction. And remember, belief isn't about having all the answers, it's about taking the first step, even when you're scared. Chapter 10, Live with Passion. Finally, live every single day with passion. Passion is the fuel that keeps you going when the road gets tough. It's the difference between a mediocre life and an extraordinary one. Think about someone like Oprah Winfrey. Do you think she achieved her success by going through the motions? No. She poured her heart and soul into everything she did. That's what passion is. It's putting your whole self into whatever you're doing, no matter how big or small. Here's the thing about passion, it's contagious. When you live with passion, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon of energy, enthusiasm, and possibility. And that's how you create a ripple effect that changes not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Your exercise, identify what lights you up, what makes you lose track of time and fills you with energy. Then, find a way to do more of it. And don't wait for permission or the perfect moment. Start living with passion today, because this is your life. Make it extraordinary. Conclusion, your journey starts now. These 10 lessons aren't just ideas, they're a roadmap to the life you've always dreamed of. But a map is useless unless you take the first step. So here's my challenge to you. Take one lesson from today and apply it. Don't wait for tomorrow, start now. Because the world doesn't need more dreamers sitting on the sidelines. It needs you, a doer, a leader, a force for good. Your life is your message to the world. Make it inspiring. This is your time to step up, take action, and live the life you were born to live. Let's make it happen.